and we thought we had a good day to have Tim Burt. He's an advertising guru. He has a website out there called SuperBowl49commercials.com. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Larry, Brian, thanks for having me back.
All right, so as you looked at all of the ads, everybody watches the ads to see which one's going to tickle their funny bone, which one's going to be controversial. What was in your mind, what was the best ad that you saw last night?
The best ad, now keep in mind I use a different criteria. I use the criteria of what ads will drive sales.
All right.
I don't care about entertaining people. We went through this last year, but what's going to drive sales? The Chevy Colorado. Now, that aired between the Star Spangled Banner and Kickoff.
Right.
But did you see that one?
I did see them, and I thought they were pretty effective.
Remind us what that one contained. The Chevy Colorado.
That's the one where it started off with a shot of the stadium, and it was like a helicopter shot, and it's the Super Bowl 49, and all of a sudden it looked like your TV went on the fritz.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, virtually anybody watching that was thinking, "Oh my God, my cable just went out. My satellite just went out." And and the message is, if this happened, you could watch Super Bowl 49 from your truck because it comes equipped with 4G LTE service.
Yeah, right. I remember.
It was an attention grabber. And the other good one that was about the Chevy Colorado was they showed women a picture of a man standing in front of like a Honda Civic or something, and a man standing in front of a Chevy. Same guy, except one's in front of the truck and one's in front of like some imported car, some Honda or something. And which guy do you think is more attractive? And the women universally went for the guy standing in front of the truck.
That's hilarious.
He was the sexier guy. That was pretty impressive, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, talking to women, absolutely. You want to get women to look at a truck? That's one way to do it. McDonald's, I thought their campaign now through Valentine's Day is absolutely brilliant. That I guarantee you, will get them more foot traffic into McDonald's, where you could randomly pay without not with cash, but by doing a good deed. Telling your mom you love her, giving somebody a hug, etc.
Yeah,
I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Some of the other winners, well, actually, here's the thing: this was a tale of two halves. The first half was a lot of people are saying dark.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this. Here's a little clip of Nationwide Insurance's ad, and I want to ask you about this. Listen to this.
Sure.
Gus, wait! I'll never learn to ride a bike. Or get cooties. I'll never learn to fly.
And it goes on through this child's voice and this child's eyes, talking about all the things that he'll never be able to do because his dad died. And they're selling insurance. And my gosh, I couldn't believe. I mean, we're here in the middle of this great game and this feel-good night. And is that a good strategy for an insurance? I understand what they're trying to communicate, but is that the way to sell your product?
It's pretty powerful. Compared to the first ad that they did with Mindy Kaling, which made absolutely zero sense to me. That ad, and I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh my God, my kids were upset," and blah blah. Well, first off, they're not talking to the kids. Secondly, if you as a parent, if it made you think and made you want to react and go to the Nationwide or the website or whatever, then congratulations, you win.
I guess that's the goal.
I thought it was actually really good.
Yeah.
All right, I want to raise one with you. Katie Couric and Bryant Gumbel, two figures from the past. We remember them from the Today Show, and they went back to 1994, and a conversation they actually had on the air when they were trying to figure out what the Internet was, and then they turned it into a commercial for a car.
What is Internet anyway? What do you write to it like mail?
Here's Allison. Can you explain what Internet is?
See, that's what I said. What do you mean there's nothing under the hood? Katie said she thought this was a car.
Yeah.
And it's built using wind? Like from a windmill?
Or a fan? Or a turbine? Or a fan vine?
I mean, what is I-3 anyway?
Allison, can you explain what I-3 is?
All right, was that effective in your mind? Do you think that actually worked?
What was the car?
Yeah, it was the BMW i3.
Very good, very good. I just wanted to say, because the last shot of that thing is Bryant Gumbel asking Katie Couric, "Can you twerk?" And I'm afraid, my fear is that's the dominant image.
Yeah.
That's the thing people would remember, as opposed to this unbelievable eco-friendly BMW, which I think is kind of a gorgeous-looking vehicle. I just hope that BMW isn't overshadowed by Katie Couric.
The image of Katie Couric twerking. Yes.
Exactly.
Who wants to go into the next commercial break with
I
that
actually
one?
don't want in my mind.
Let me ask you that, thematically, a lot of people were talking about how there were a lot of ads that showed fatherhood in a very positive way, and I loved that. I loved that it really championed fathers, and I had a really kind of, I thought, interesting and intense debate with a couple of people about that, because a lot of the women that I talked to about that said that those ads were actually appealing to moms more than it was appealing to the dads. And I wonder where you stand on that. Basically, we're saying, representing dads the way that moms would want them to be, and that would motivate a mother to buy the product.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And think about this. How many Super Bowl ads have you seen over the years where the guy is portrayed as a doofus,
right,
as a moron, who can't do something right?
And the poor beleaguered mom has to step in with the product to solve the problem.
Yes, here's mom to save the day. This year, boy, I'm telling you, this was a really unique year for Super Bowl ads. Not only did we have all the stuff about the dads, we had some ads that were kind of, quote, dark, but we also had our very first tampon ad during the Super Bowl, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, for always, right? Or the like hashtag like
Power,
a girl.
Yeah, power of girls. Yeah.
Yep. And that worked. They put the hashtag out there, and I certainly saw it going all over Twitter.
And there were a lot of spots with hashtags in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly a lot of these businesses want to drive Twitter traffic because they're trying to use that as a measuring device to see how well the ad worked, which I think is somewhat flawed. However, I understand where they're going. But I thought McDonald's was great. The Chevy Colorado was great. And the two video game ads I thought were fantastic. Game of War and Clash of Clans with Liam Neeson. I thought those were fantastic.
Let me ask you this question, though. When you go to the grocery store later today, you're probably going to think about buying some Mexican avocados, aren't you?
That was a pretty decent ad. I mean, really, if you think about it, I was ready to rip that ad. But I thought, you know what? Wait a minute. Don't all avocados come from Mexico?
No, California grows
California,
avocados.
Well, I suppose so, but
I think Chile. I don't know.
The really good ones come from Mexico.
According to the ads, that's for sure. All right. Tim Burt is with us, advertising guru. And one last quick question on this. It's the Super Bowl, and usually we get a lot of really good-looking women selling products. GoDaddy was famous for it for a long time. It seems like it was just that Carl's Jr. ad that really stood out with a very, very pretty model, and they were sort of making fun that she was walking around naked with lots of fruit and food sort of mimicking her body parts. Is that sort of a blast from the past, or is that sort of thing still effective? It certainly made me crave a burger.
Well, it depends on what you're going for. I mean, let's face it. I can't tell you how many people say, "Oh, those Hardee's and Carl's Jr.'s ads are disgusting." Older people saying they're offensive. Well, guess what? Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Their target demo is men 18 to 24.
Right.
So if you're a 60-year-old woman, guess what? They're not talking to you.
And they were talking about that ad all week on Facebook. I saw it trending, so they got something out of it.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're a man 18 to 24, really 1835, who's going to go to Hardee's or Carl's Jr., guess what? That's right between the eyes for you.
All right. Well, Tim, thank you so much. Tim Burt with the Super Bowl 49 ads.com. You can go there and take a look at it. We'd love to have you again.
Super Bowl 49 commercials.
Thank you. I'm sorry. My bad.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.